Hi, everyone. It's Gina,
Noreen.
and we're here today for a 1 o'clock or 1 o'clock podcast on the Menendez brothers. And I'm really interested. Noreen's really interested. She had really good statistics or research that she found, which I
Yep.
can't wait to hear. I never heard it yet, so I'm looking forward to it. So please hit the subscribe button and the bell so you get our alerts. And
Yep.
please enjoy this. I mean, we're looking forward to doing true crime. We love this. We're like really
We
passionate about it.
absolutely love it.
We love
For
it.
real. We
So
we were big Nancy Grace people.
we are huge, huge.
Hmm.
I wish she was still on. I know you have to find her on YouTube now, but I really find
She's
her on
she's
YouTube.
on some kind of channel because I saw her last night on some kind of odd channel,
Oh,
but I don't
okay.
know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But and so just to let everybody know, we picked today because there was supposed to be the Menendez brothers, their family members were all going to be rallying
For the
in front
resentencing.
of DA Hockman's office, and it was
Hmm.
canceled and moved to April 11th, right, Norman? Is that what
The
you said?
resentencing. Yeah, the
Resentencing.
resentencing
So
is
they're
supposed to
not
be
doing
today,
it
but
today.
it
So
got rescheduled to
it's
April 11th.
yeah. So
Yeah.
we're going to talk about the whole case and how, what do you think? Should they get a resentence? Should they stay in jail forever? We're going to go back and forth, and please let us know your comments as we love to hear them. So
Yeah.
anyway, Noreen, I cannot wait to hear this because my opinion, everybody, is I think they should be resentenced. I believe that they were was abuse that was not taken into consideration, and I think in one of their trials it wasn't even taken into the trial. And I think that they should
The
have. I'm not
first
saying they should never went to jail. I mean, honestly,
one.
but I also believe that being in jail for I think they've been in jail for what, like 30 something years now. I don't even.
They got sentenced, I believe, in 94.
Okay,
I think they got sentenced in 94.
so it's been
Yeah,
over like 30 something years then.
I believe. Yeah,
Okay.
93 or 94. Yeah.
So my thing is, I think that being that they were both, well, I believe they were both abused, it does not give anyone a right to go and mutilate or kill your parents. I mean, it really does not. They were old enough to really either get out, run away, whatever it is. But again, we're not them. They're young, mentality wise. I don't know. I'm not them. But in the
Right.
meantime, Noreen found some research that I'm looking forward to hearing.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm on the fence that I don't believe that they were sexually abused.
Okay.
That's just my opinion, my belief, only because they're very catty in the whole thing. They
Right.
lied about mostly everything of that happened that night.
Yep.
They
Correct.
said that there was unknown intruders came into the house responsible for the murder. They claimed their innocence, and they said maybe it was a mafia hit. You
Yes.
know, a
Yeah. It
lot
was.
of silly,
Yeah.
a lot of things. I'm not, so I don't believe. I believe that they were kind of spoiled,
Definitely spoiled.
who got everything they wanted.
Definitely,
And I
definitely.
believe mommy and daddy or daddy was saying, "You're not going to get everything you want anymore." And they got
Yes.
mad and they killed them.
Right.
So, I mean, they were just spoiled
They
people,
were definitely
I think.
spoiled.
But the thing is interesting to me. So they're both married. Okay. They're
Yes.
both married. They got married in jail when they were in jail, 2003, I think. Um, the one who's married, let's see. So Eric married in 1999, actually. Eric married in 1999. And Lyle married in 2003. So this is interesting, right? So Lyle married somebody in 2003 who is a former journalist and editor who became an attorney after marrying him.
Oh.
The couple knew each other for 10 years before. She manages her Facebook, which supports abusers.
Oh. Okay.
Just listen to what I said.
Yes. Yes.
They knew each other for 10 years before they got married. So they got married in 2003. So where's 10 years before? 1993,
Yes. Oh my
right?
gosh.
Okay. And they got married 10 years later. She used to be a journalist and an editor. Then she became an attorney after they married.
So you think that she became an attorney to try to get them like out of or get them out of jail? Or what do you think?
I
Like,
mean, I don't know. I'm speculating. This is all a speculation. This is all my opinion. This is factual of
Right,
her.
right, right. Which your friend,
But
right,
my opinion is it's kind of it's kind of weird because like okay, so they knew each other 10 years before 2000 2003, so it was 1993, and this incident happened in 1989, right,
right,
Jane?
right.
Okay.
1989.
Okay, so then they met in 1993, and I think that's when they got sentenced. I believe it was
Yeah,
93 or
it
92,
was. I
something like that.
believe it was 93.
Okay, so they met then. So, but then she was only a journalist and an editor.
Okay.
So she wasn't an attorney then. So
Yes.
she was a journalist. So she was probably doing the case, right?
Right.
Whatever.
Exactly. She was covering the case.
She was covering the case,
Right.
right? And then they got married in 2003. And then after they married, she became an attorney for abuse survivors, supporting abuse survivors.
Right.
So, I mean, it's just interesting, but I don't know. And then the whole thing going forward is what really kind of like made me kind of weird is in this is crazy. So Eric, they're in jail. Um, okay. So Eric's in jail. Now, okay, so Eric's in jail. Now, Lyle, who was married to this woman,
Right.
they separated in November of 2024.
Yes, I heard that. I was going to say I heard that they separated.
Right. So they're separated.
Yeah.
But Eric is still married. He's married to somebody, he got married in 1999. He's still married, I believe. Um, and when Eric had, did you know that Eric had a famous neighbor cell person?
No.
OJ.
Oh, okay.
So OJ Simpson
Yeah.
was OJ. OJ arrived at the LA County's men's jail in 1994. Now that's another case that we're going to
I
talk
know. That's
about,
a good
right?
case. Yeah.
Following the famous police chase
Right.
when he was put into a cell next to Eric Menendez.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so but listen, the brothers, Eric Menendez, let me see, I'm writing my notes.
Oh, yeah.
Apologize, people, since I got notes
No,
all over
no.
the place
No, I
here.
think it's
I have
good.
notes everywhere here, but I'm trying to pinpoint it out. Okay, so he was had a neighboring cell, OJ got put in the cell behind next to him, but the both of the boys knew him before jail. They knew OJ before they had this
Wow.
whole
I never
everything.
heard.
Okay. This is how they knew OJ. The brother's dad, which was his name, what was his name?
The brother's dad. Oh, the brothers. What do you mean the brother? Oh, the brother's dad. Oh my God. Jose.
Brothers.
Jose.
Jose. Okay. So the brother's dad was a chief financial officer and a general manager of Hertz in the 70s. Okay. And signed OJ to advertise the OJ Simpson to advertise the rental company call. He signed him to do an advertisement, meaning like probably he did a commercial ad for it
Right.
or an advertisement. Right. Um, okay. Advertiser did. OJ has been at the Menendez house. Lyle remembers as a kid throwing footballs with OJ and wouldn't think they would meet in jail again.
Oh my, I never heard this. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Lyle's remembering now this is how I'm thinking. So
Yeah.
Lyle's remembering a nice time
With
throwing footballs in his
OJ.
yard at his house with OJ Simpson. Now, if he was getting abused during that time, because didn't they
It
claim
started
the
when they
abuse
were very,
from
yeah, very
like
small. Yeah, yeah.
right? So, I don't know how people, I don't know how children like take abuse. Like, I don't know how, because
I know
I'm
everybody
not a
says,
psychiatrist,
right, right.
I'm
And we
not a
don't know how the
psychiatrist.
mentality works. I mean, we don't. Like,
No,
again,
I don't. But I do know how spoiled kids work
right, right.
when they don't get their way.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my, yes. Yes.
And that's just how I feel. I mean, they lived a high life in Beverly
I
Hills.
know.
They obviously hung around with people that, you know,
Or of their higher whatever.
yeah. And now
And
this,
I know, and also when they the parents were killed, they made a lot of mistakes too. They went on and they bought themselves Rolex watches, they bought a car, they were going around buying a bunch of stuff. And that
mhm,
to me it was like, what the heck? You know what? I didn't understand that, and I still don't understand that. Again,
yeah,
I'm not them, so I don't know what that was all about, running around and trying to spend the money, because that again gave the police. Like, why were if these people are so upset that their parents were killed and this mob supposed hit happened, they're running around buying themselves all these things, like, these
mhm,
elaborate items. So
right.
I understand that. I do understand that. But at the same time, I guess I just from just listening to the cousin who's no longer alive, there was a note that was found.
Mhm.
Did you hear that? That
Yeah.
okay. That I don't know if it was Lyle or Eric. I forget which one wrote the note and said it's happening again. And the cousin, I guess they found it recently. I guess the cousin's been gone for a long time. They found this note, but it was never, I don't believe it was ever put into the courts. There was a lot of
It
things left
was
out, right?
right. Yeah, I don't think it, so the first one was a mistrial, right?
Right.
The first one was a mistrial, and I don't think it was put in
The
that
second
one.
one, they were keeping the abuse out. I don't think they were allowed, as far as from what I remember reading, they were not allowed to bring the abuse part into the second, I believe. Was it the second? Something was, I believe, wasn't the first one where they put the abuse in? I'm like, and the second time,
Well,
it was
the
not.
first one was, I think the abuse was in the first one.
Yes. And the
I
second
think
one,
the
the judge
abuse,
said, no, we're not
right.
bringing
I think
it.
right. I think because it ended in a mistrial,
Right.
right? So you couldn't bring that evidence back into the
Oh,
second case, right?
no.
But and the reason why, I'm thinking, I'm speculating again. This is all speculation.
And
This is
again,
all speculation,
everybody,
people.
this is for, I have
Don't
to
come
say this.
after me.
No, and I have to
Don't
say
try
this.
to.
I have to say this because I know on YouTube and TikTok, like you have to say this is all for entertainment purposes. Like her and Noreen and I are just, this is our opinion, our opinion.
Absolutely.
There's
Yeah,
nothing,
this is all,
nothing exactly.
and
It's just we're just talking, and it's just our
anything that I just said to you was all in the news.
right.
It was
Yeah,
all in
you're
the
getting
news.
this from online.
I got this all on Google. It was all
Right,
on Google. So
right,
it's
right.
not stuff that
Exactly.
and it, who knows if it's credible or
You
not,
don't
but this is
know
what I got.
exactly.
This is what I got.
Right.
So I'm just showing, letting everybody know what I heard,
And I
what
think
I
it's good. I've
found on
never heard
Google.
this before, nor I'm happy that you found this research because honestly, I didn't know this, a lot of that with OJ Simpson and him being
Mhm.
the cell next to them, so it
Right. And he knew the dad, and the dad put him in one of his advertisements for his Hertz rental car because that's what
wow.
he was a financial advisor for Hertz.
Right,
That was in the 70s. And Lyle and Kyle and Lyle were alive. They're what,
right.
in their 50s, right? So, but like I said, this is just stuff I found on Google, and
Right.
this is just how I feel about it. I just feel
I,
that
I know you feel
tragic. The
right. It's
whole
a
thing is
tragic
tragic.
altogether. It's tragic altogether. People lost their lives. And I
Right.
have it, if you want my opinion in the beginning, before all this like stuff has come out now with the whole resentencing, my whole thing is I think like if the father was abusing them, and again, this is my opinion, they killed the father, but then they went after the mother. And I get that they were mad at their mother because the mother knew about it. And she was not, she wasn't doing anything to protect her
Right.
children.
If she, yes,
But I
yes.
also
See,
believe
yeah,
that if they just killed the father, if they were going nuts and the mother was kept alive, maybe perhaps at that point the mother would have come out and said, the truth behind it, or she could have protected it. But I think them murdering both parents the way they did, I think that. I mean, and again, we're not them. They were enraged. We don't, again, we're not them.
right. And the thing is, by them killing both of them
Right,
and them just knowing the true story,
right.
nobody's really going to know the true
No
story.
one's ever gonna know. No one's honestly ever gonna know.
So this is all speculation. Like Gina thinks that they were abused. I don't think they were.
Right, right.
But the reason why I don't think they were is just how they behaved and how they they
when
were
they did,
callous,
right.
and they just lied about a lot of things, you
The
know?
only thing that I was thinking is both sides of the family are supporting them, right? So even Jose Menendez, the father of the two boys, their whole family, I believe, is all behind them. So does it make me think like, did they know anything and maybe perhaps never came out with it and they are coming out? I mean, I don't know because you would think if they thought they were lying, they wouldn't back them up, right? Like especially the father.
Right.
I know that the mother, the brother, one of the mother's brother, who's I don't think any longer alive, but he was very
Hmm.
much against them getting out of jail. But
Hmm.
you have two sides of the family that are like going nuts trying to get them out.
But is that because of the abuse, or do they think that
They spent
they
enough
did
time in
enough
jail.
time?
Yeah,
Right.
that's true. And let me tell you, even if they get out of jail, it is scary because they did do such a horrific crime.
Yeah.
Like it really
Yeah.
is. Like I go back and forth and I flip flop. I'm like, okay, well, they really killed two people in such a horrific way.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and and I know people do become rehabilitated in jail. The thing
Right.
is, it's like, I don't know. I do go back and forth. Like sometimes I don't do, I do they spend enough time in jail? I mean, they've been in jail for over 30 years. Should they go back and re-sentence them and go through the entire trial again? I don't know. It's crazy.
That I don't think
Wild.
that's the thing, though. I don't
No,
think
I
that's
think they're
what they're
trying to
looking to
just get
do.
them to come out. Like, what are they trying to do? They're trying to like get them so they just come out of jail and
Well, no. What they're trying to do is get a resentencing. So
that's a reset.
a resentencing could be, um, they get released, right? But hypothetically, me thinking, I don't think they're going to get
I
released.
don't even.
But
I think maybe one of the brothers may though. Did you know that one of the brothers is the one? I think Eric, because he's the older one, right? Isn't Eric? Eric's the older one, so I believe. Or is it no? Is it Lyle? No, I think it's Eric. Lyle's the younger one.
I believe Eric's
Eric,
the older. Yeah.
Eric. I believe they're saying that there's lesser charges for Lyle because Eric is the one that manipulated. They feel like he's the one that put the plan together and then went to his brother.
Okay. So
So
my thing, so you're thinking that they're going to resentence, and they'll resentence the two of them differently.
they may do that. I've heard this. They may do this. Okay.
Right. Right.
But at the same time, I know this new DA, he wants them to go down this list and really admit to the lies before he would
Well,
actually
well,
give them a
the
chance.
thing is, the reason why is because there's like 20 lies, right, that
Right,
he's talking about,
right,
and they admitted to like four of them, I believe,
right.
right? Um, but there has to be a reason why. I mean, to be a DA, you can't be to be an attorney, you can't be dumb.
Right,
You know,
right. No,
it's a
no, no,
lot of
no.
schooling, a lot of stuff.
Right.
So, and to be a DA, you have to, I mean, there's got to be, you have to have some sort of reasoning behind that you think that there's 17 or 16 more lies.
Exactly. That's true. Because when he was going down, and I think he was on News Nation with Ashley Banfield, he was going down the list of everything, or he was with somebody. I don't, it might have not been her. Um,
No.
I um I was like, wow, like where's he getting this information from?
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So you don't pull this out of the hat.
No,
There had to have been
no.
something at the initial arrest or the
Right.
initial questioning of the boys.
And that's why I think that they're going to go rally in front of Dia Hockman because he's kind of like putting until they admit he doesn't want to, like, I don't know if he's not wanting to go forward because I know Governor Newsom, I believe
Well,
he
Governor Newsom came out and he said, yeah, Governor Newsom
he
came
would
out
do
and
it.
said, he's our district attorney, so I'm going to have him do his due diligence,
Right.
which he should,
And he's
right?
doing it. He did because he came up with all that information.
Right. So I'm going to have him do his due diligence because that's another thing. The governor can vote clemency,
Right.
which can get them out, right?
Yes.
But I don't think those two things are going to happen. I think they're going to get a resentence for
A
a
lesser,
shorter term.
maybe they'll spend another 5 years in jail, another.
And if you're saying that the older one, who was the one who was
He's
like
the one that
the
was like the
mastermind,
mastermind behind it, is what I've read,
he may get a higher
he
sentence
might,
than
yeah,
the other.
exactly. Well, that's what I'm thinking. That's what they said. That's what they said on TV. And when I'm listening to all this, it's just the whole thing is just nuts.
It
And
is.
it'll be very interesting to see what happens from here on out
Yes, it
because
is.
I
And
know
like I
that the
said, another
lawyer,
thing.
Yeah.
This is all our hearsay. We are not
Oh yeah, no,
attorneys.
we're not experts in any of this.
We're not
We're two
experts in
people
that.
that are just going, we're just looking and talking about what we feel should or should
Hmm.
not be happening. And
Hmm.
anything we're getting from online and we're getting from
Yep.
TV. That's it.
Yep.
This is
Yep.
all for entertainment purposes. When we do our podcast, I'm going to start putting out there, it's for entertainment purposes only.
Only. That's it.
We're just talking, debating
That's it.
each
We're
other,
not
and
fact. We
there's
we
no
we are
fact
not.
checking anything. This is just our opinion. And
That's
there
it.
are certain things, like I said, where we're going online and researching. Like Doreen found a bunch of stuff online, and she was,
Hmm.
telling you all about it. So again,
That's it.
but anyway, we're gonna get cut off. So
Yep.
to everybody, I believe our next podcast, and please leave a comment because we'd like to know what you're thinking. And we may have to revisit this on April 11th again to see what happens.
Yeah, we could. You
But
could
let's do that.
definitely.
So in the meantime, I know we have our list of our podcasts. I'm
Our
done.
next one is March 26th for the Casey Anthony story, which is Kaylee Anthony.
Yes, cannot wait to talk about that one.
Yes.
So we're gonna say goodbye and thank
Yep.
you
Bye bye.
for part of our podcast. And again, hit the
Thanks so
subscribe
much.
and the alert button, and we have